And welcome to Today in the News on Vanguard Life. I am Precious Chukudi. Of course, we're going to be looking at some of the front pages in the papers this morning. But then again, it's been raining cat and dogs here in Lagos, and the roads are blocked. People are trying to navigate their ways to their offices, business places, and whatnot. And I just hope that this rain just has like some mercy with us because it's been back to back here in Lagos. Well, let us start off with the front page of Vanguard. Vanguard is leading with Nigeria going through darkest history. That's coming from Catholic bishops. The writer says Nigerians suffering extreme poverty, unemployment, soaring inflation, lament insurgency, banditry, herdsmen, militancy, kidnapping. You can see that story on page 7. Also, we can see a report, an infograph showing consumers pay heavily as manufacturers' costs rise 25% to 788.7 billion naira. The writer says executive blame inflation, energy, forex, transfers more cost to consumers, expects consumers resistance, other pressures ahead. That's coming from some analysts. On page 5, intense lobbying as APC, PDP, LP leaders form campaign council. The writer says ours will be ready next week. That's coming from ABC sources. Principal out of the country. It will be sorted when he returns. That's coming from LP. On page 8, Kwankwaso not stepping down for Atiku Tinubu. That's coming from campaign organization. Page 8, article presents plans at editors forum tomorrow, says election choice between freedom, doom. On page 34, strike, federal government seeks accelerated hearing of case against ASU. Stories above, we have a presidential interview with Dumebi Kachuku, ADC presidential candidate. Consequence for bad behavior will make Nigeria a better place for all. On page 6, Ifeanyi Uba's convoy ambushed in Anambra, many killed. And on page 6, Kaduna family seeks help as bandit demands 50 million naira over kidnapped three sisters. Lastly, on the front page of Vanguard newspaper, oil theft, NNPCs loses $700 million monthly. You can see that story on page 8. Let's take a look at the Guardian newspaper. The Guardian is leading with Ekiti Osun polls. More questions trail INEC server hacking claims. The writer says, Oni, we have vindicated. Ekiti election came short of what it should be. Cyber attacks, a common phenomenon in digital age, says Aware. No server is hack proof, says Atcon boss. Nigerians need guarantee 2023 election will be free, fair. That's coming from Amadi Uwaje. The development, danger capable of stirring post-election crisis, says Okun. Autumn, federal government must not meddle in INEC affairs. NCC CSIRT alerts Nigerians to Google Chrome extension malware. You can see that on page 6. On page 3, Nigeria records spike in monkeypox, Lassa fever cases. Still on page 3, services tribute as Queen Elizabeth II makes final journey from Balmora. On page 23, we have why our doctors, nurses are in high demand abroad. That's coming from Fambanwo. We can also see stories above. Over 500,000 expired containers litter Nigeria pose environmental risk. You can see that on page 6. On page 3 still, aviation workers issue 14 days ultimatum, begin protest against anti-labor clauses. All right, let's take a look at the Nation newspaper. The Nation is leading between 210 days after federal government asked court to stop ASU strike. Plaintiff seeks order against lecturers to return to work. You can see that story on page 4. Nigeria's debt stock rise 45.25 trillion naira. We will retire political tourist article to Dubai, says Shetima. A ruling party divisionary, says PDP campaign spokesman. Supreme Court depleted as Justice Aboki retires. You can see that on page 5. Brazilian returnee excretes 92 wraps of cocaine. NCDC 36 monkeypox cases recorded in 1 week. 19-year-old student commits suicide. Bandits demand 50 million naira to free woman. And lastly, on the front page of the Nation newspaper, six feared killed in attack on Uba's convoy. Let's take a look at the Punch newspaper. The Punch is leading with the federal government may lose 7.58 trillion naira to contract dispute damages. The rider says firm demands a $2.3 billion for alleged Mabila contract breach, files fresh $400 million suit. Most cases against government due to official negligence, poor handling, says Sands. Uh, Buhari administration has capacity to overturn cases against the government. That's coming from the AGF's office. Tribute as Queen Elizabeth's coffins arrive Edinburgh. Stories above. Federal government loses 13.21 million barrels oil worth 603 billion naira in 2022. 500 senior doctors left Nigeria, says medical body. Sands profs to defend ASU before industrial courts. Gunmen attack Ifeanyi Uba's convoy, cops fear killed. Lagos school fence collapses, kills two pupils. You can see that story on pages 4 and 5. Total manufactured goods fall 36%. Inflation may worsen. And lastly, on the front page of the Punch newspaper, we have the weekly security review. And that's all we can take on the front pages of the papers. Join us after the break. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. If you're just joining us today in the news on Vanguard Life, I am Precious Chukudi. Joining me to talk about some of the stories on the front pages of the papers this morning is Mr. Liu Mohammed, is CEO of Magnet Communications, also former editor of Daily Times and Concord Newspaper. Good morning, sir. It's good to have you joining this morning.
Precious.
Very well, thank you.
It's been a rainy morning.
Yeah, extremely. I was going to ask you, how was it for you this morning?
Well, most of the roads around Ikeja are flooded, but we had to wade through together.
It's just the traffic too is so intense this morning. All right, let's just delve in this morning to the papers, and of course, we're moving into the campaign season now. It seems to be that APC, PDP, LP have not, they've been having, like a handful in the composition of their presidential, campaign councils, and people have been talking about it since now. And INEC has already given them September 28th to begin campaign, but it seems that none of these parties are yet to, have a detailed, comprehensive presidential council. What do you think about it?
Well, it is not a surprise to me because you know the nature of Nigerian politics. You have to satisfy groups, personal interests, ethnic interests, and we also have the greatest enemy that is named Godfatherism here and there. So they have to try to satisfy different interests. And as such, to ensure that all those interests are represented in the campaign council. I'm sure I have seen names that have been published online, and those names were denied and withdrawn for editing or for whatever reason. But it is not unexpected, considering the nature of the politics that we practice here in Nigeria. Ordinarily, I don't see any problem in the composition of campaign committees. All you need to do is to get people who can help you propagate your programs and ideas, and then go ahead to talk about them among various groups and interests. So we have to wait. The deadline is November 28th. Let's see if everybody will comply with that date.
All right, in the APC, some party sources have said that, the issues raised on the Muslim ticket seems to be, has not yet died down, and seems to be also be one of the reasons why they are yet to pick their presidential campaign council. In the PDP, obviously, we know about the article and the
Wiki crisis.
Yes, exactly. Then also for Labour Party, they're saying that their presidential candidate is not in the country. When he's back, they'll start to. But I'm like, they don't have enough time really. It's better for them to name these people so that if there's anybody that has any form of grievances or why these people shouldn't be in the council, they can start to deal with such situations, not like close to the party.
Questions. I just told you about the efforts of the parties to meet the demands of various interest groups that are part of each of the three political parties. You are thinking that they have little time left, but I can tell you that they have various lists which they are trying to harmonize. That is normal. You talked about the Muslim ticket. Yes, it is raising a lot of concerns among Christians and even Muslims. Those who are very much at home and comfortable with the Muslim tickets are mainly from the northern part of Nigeria. If you look at the south, a lot of people are not comfortable with it. Their argument is that the present vice president is a pastor and he has not properly represented the Christians and he has not taken care of the interest of Christians, considering the massive killing and attacks on Christians in some parts of the north. So there are issues that should really be well addressed, and I'm sure that those parties don't want to make mistakes in the composition of their campaign councils by ensuring that one religious group is more than the other. And I'm sure they are all making efforts that they balance the choices that they all have. So, like I said, there is no doubt that the list will come out eventually between this week and next week because, like you said, they don't have much time left. So, it is nothing abnormal. The delay is nothing abnormal as far as I'm concerned. If we are in a country that do not have to satisfy groups, various interests, godfathers, people who have contributed huge amounts of money but want a share of whatever positions that is being distributed within the party. Ordinarily, the composition of a campaign council should not be a problem. All you need to do, like I said, is to get people, competent people that you know that they have the capacity to project your ideas, they have the capacity to propagate the policies and programs of your party, that they have the ability and capacity to tell the people about their various candidates, sell the people to the people, the candidates to the people. So it shouldn't be a problem. Like I said, we have various interests to satisfy, and that is what we get in an environment like ours.
All right, let's talk about Senator Ifeanyi Uba. His vehicle was attacked. Policemen were killed. His cars was riddled with bullets. He also, according to an
his car was not. He was in a bulletproof car.
Yeah.
Yes, the car was attacked, but he escaped. I really feel sorry for the security men that escorted him yesterday and got killed in Enugu. It is sad, and this is sending some signals that if you are escorting a VIP who is in a bulletproof car and those who are supposed to protect him are riding in ordinary Hilux or other kind of jeeps sitting at the back and they are exposed to danger, we have to review the laws guiding the allocation of policemen to VIPs. I think they also deserve to be protected. Human life is the same. No life is important than the other. I really felt so. I saw the video online and I don't understand Igbo, but those who were talking about that incident were really pathetic about what happened. And like I said, we have to review the laws guiding the escort of VIPs in Nigeria. If the man that that you are protecting is in a bulletproof car, he should be kind enough to provide at least 2 bulletproof cars for the security men accompanying him and his aides. That's my take on that.
All right, let's talk about this one now. The Catholic Bishop of Conference of Nigeria has said that Nigeria is passing through the darkest chapter of its history. According to them, they're saying that Nigerians have been subjected to high level of insecurity, just like what we're talking about, high rates of unemployment and also soaring prices of goods and services. What are your thoughts on this one?
They can say that again. It's the situation in the country is sad. Almost everybody, except those who have access to government funds, have been reduced to paupers. You go to the market, you buy toothpaste today, you go there tomorrow, the price has gone up. The price of food is terrible. People can't afford to eat. You wake up in the morning, you see people walking on the road, and they are not even conscious of what they are doing. And to cap it all up, you have the problem of insecurity. You read the story about a woman who was pregnant and was kidnapped. She gave birth in the den of the kidnappers, and they are demanding for 50 million ransom. In these days and times, how many Nigerians can easily dip their hands into their account and bring out 50 million? So in most situations, all you see is a situation where friends, family members sell whatever they have to raise that kind of money. And it is not good. Government should find a solution to the problem of insecurity. A lot of people are getting kidnapped and killed every day. In the north, somewhere in Kaduna, yes, this event also took place in Kaduna. Somewhere in Kaduna last weekend, I read that people, unknown gunmen, attacked people's homes, removed doors, iron doors, and were trying to kidnap them. If we have that kind of situation, then I think the government should come on top of it. The government should really, if I'm in my house and I'm not feeling safe, it is bad enough that you can't even travel out of wherever you are in Lagos or any part of Nigeria. Now look at what happened to Uba. If he didn't have a bulletproof car by this morning, he would have been a dead man. And how many people, Nigerians, can afford to buy a bulletproof car for between 250 million and 300 million? And so government must come on top of it. We've heard about helicopters coming to drop arms and ammunition. Is it beyond the government to trace those helicopters and get to know the owners and find a way of apprehending them? A situation where planes can fly within Nigerian space, go to the den of kidnappers and terrorists, drop arms and ammunition, and no government agency is able to track down such an helicopter or aeroplane. It is not good. It is embarrassing. If government cannot handle the problem of insecurities, let them bring in foreign mercenaries to assist us, because it is becoming embarrassing that we have a sitting president, a sitting government, and we have all these terrible situations happening around us. Look at the southeast. We are preparing for election. I saw a video of where people stormed the office of the Labour Party and shot at everything outside there. When they were going, they approached the car that was parked and destroyed the car in a situation where we are preparing for an election. So what will happen during the election? So we have to be prepared very well, because the election itself will be tasking for security men. We are going to have election in the 36 states of the Federation. What is the number of policemen that we are going to deploy for the elections? What is the number of soldiers that will be deployed for the elections? Yes, we have civil defense officers here and there. Are they so much that they can curtail eventualities during the election? So we have to sit down and plan. Otherwise, we may not have an election.
All right. Also, during the meeting, they spoke about the migration of Nigerians, which they have faulted to the worsening economic situation. If you really look around you, you know that you'd also see that a lot of people are just leaving the country. A lot of professionals are leaving. Our tech bros are leaving. If I just realized that the banks have been having some issues right now with their doing bank transfers and all of that, especially on the weekends. And I think it's due to this whole migration of Nigerians leaving the country, going for better life and all of that. What can you say about
You
this?
see, well, like I said, we are in very, very trying times. If it takes somebody with a lot of courage to want to stay in Nigeria, all you need to do to know the volume of people that want to leave Nigeria is to go to any passport office, go to visit the American embassy, visit the embassy of Germany, visit the UK embassy. UK have a drop visa, an application center on Mobolaji Bankantoni Way. You need to see the volume of people there every day applying for visa. It sends strong warnings that a lot of people are leaving the country. That is, those who want to go to countries that they require visas to visit. You saw what happened in Dubai. Nigerians were turned back from the airport because of the volume of the high number of those who came. They had to change visa policies to the issuance of strictly family visas. Those who went still collected those family visas and they traveled alone. At the airport, they were all arrested and sent back to Nigeria. It shows the desperation with which people want to get out of the country. And I won't blame anybody. Not everybody will have the courage to want to stay and forge on in this kind of despicable situation. So I won't blame those who want to escape. Look at lecturers. A lot of them are going out of the country. A lot of them have
Yeah.
gone to private universities. A lot of them have gone to Ghana. A lot of them have gone to Niger. A lot of them are they are in other parts of West Africa where they don't require visas to stay. I'm sure that even if they call off ASU today, at least 30% of those lecturers will not come back to.
True.
Hmm? So a younger friend of mine was telling me over the weekend that one of his lecturers called him and begged him to send 2,000 naira to him because he doesn't have money to feed his family. It is disturbing. A whole university lecturer, assuming that guy is in school or he had the money to send to the lecturer. The guy in question is the student of this lecturer. What kind of control will that lecturer exert on him in school? No, you won't be able to control him. Once you compromise your integrity before your student, you have no control over that student. That's the level to which they have brought lecturers in Nigeria. If you are a businessman in Nigeria today, you are going to pay salaries. You are going to ensure that you run your office with either diesel or petrol. You know the cost of diesel. If you are into production in Nigeria, bakeries, hotels, they are running at great losses. And nobody will want to invest in Nigeria in this kind of environment. So government should sit down and help industries to survive. A lot of industries have moved out of Nigeria to Ghana. Bata, Leonard's, Michelin, Dunlop, all the companies that were in Nigeria before have all gone to establish huge plants in Ghana. What is happening to us as a country? And we keep talking about a government achieving a lot. I have not seen some of these achievements. If economically people are not okay, companies are closing down, running to nearby countries, and you are talking about achievement. What kind of achievement? You are building roads, fine. Who are the people that will ride on those roads? Ghosts? So we have to be careful the way we try to project failure, an obvious failure. So, I mean, Nigeria deserves a better kind of environment. We call ourselves giants of Africa. I don't want to say the opposite. So let's just end it there.
All right, let's take Mr. and Mrs. And Mrs. is speaking this one. She says, "My friend just bought hers. It's not that expensive. So why are you forcing? Tell me what are you going to do if I pay 250,000 naira for a dressing gown?" And Mrs. says, "A dressing down
She must be very rich to be able to
in this
afford.
time."
Yes, 250,000 naira gown. That's interesting. Laughable.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Ali Mohammed. He's CEO of Magnet Communications, also former editor of Daily Times and Concord Newspaper. Thank you for sharing your thought with us this
You're
morning.
most welcome.
Also, remember that you can equally like, share, and subscribe on all our social media platforms shown on your screen on Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, TikTok platform is also displayed on your screen. You want to find out up-to-date stories, you can go to our website, www.vanguardngr.com to find out more. I am Precious Chukudi. Make sure you have a fabulous day, and thank you for watching.